Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Jennifer, and thank you for visiting my channel. And as you know, as I said in my last video, if you haven't checked out my last video, please check it out. And if those who have seen my last video, I did say that my channel was going to be based on many testimonies and on how the Lord delivered me from many situations because of His grace and His mercy. Yeah, because of His grace and His mercy. And so I was basically, my last video was basically like the outline on what I went through, from on me knowing, basically me knowing Christ from childhood to, knowing Christ, and my many experiences. So before I even get into this video, I definitely want to read this scripture because it's definitely going to be speaking on my testimony. So bear with me, okay? As it says in Job 33:14-18, for God speaks in one way and in two, though man does not perceive it, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on men, while they slumber on their beds, then he opens the ears of men and terrifies them with warnings, that he may turn man aside from his deed and conceal pride from a man. He keeps back his soul from the pit, his life from perishing by the sword. Amen. Amen. Wow. Okay, so today's video is going to be based on when the Lord delivered me from HIV. Yes, when the Lord delivered me from HIV. So as you know, in my last video, I basically talked about how, I dealt with the spirit of perversion, fornication, lust. And so, and definitely I was, what can I say? I was always trying to seek love. So, but there were times where I will go through my moments where I will get tired, or when I will, go through a situation and I'll just be like, you know what, Lord, that's it. I'm giving everything up. I'm not about to keep doing this. I surrender. I just want to focus on you. I want to be celibate. And so, in this very particular situation, now this stood out, out of many situations, but I definitely feel like I need to speak on this one. It was one situation where I finally decided that I wanted to be celibate. Basically practicing abstinence. I think it was, I'm gonna say it was going on a year, or was it a year? It was a year. And so, I just remember focusing on the Lord, going to church, just trying to live right. I wasn't really talking to anyone, wasn't entertaining nobody. But of course, we all know the devil. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, especially when you have a calling in your life. And so this was one of the situations where the devil really, because if anything, this is where he wanted to take me out. This situation right here. Because of the many times, and so yes, I'm basically celibate for like a whole year. I'm good. I'm like, you know what? I'm done for the Lord. I'm feeling confidence. But of course, you always go through your moments where you're feeling bored. Like you get bored. You're like, you know what? I wish I can talk to somebody on the phone. So now you gotta be very careful what you ask for, because the devil hears he hears you. He definitely hears you. And he will wait for any moment, at a vulnerable moment, to throw you something to basically catch you off guard. And so at this time I was definitely like, dang, I don't talk to anybody on the phone. I wish I can talk to somebody on the phone. And I just, God, I'm doing good. I'm not sleeping with nobody. It's been a year, stuff like that. And so here and there. So I had a physical coming up. Actually, yeah, I ended up having an appointment, which was my, annual physical. So of course, again, like I told you before, I was kind of like a wild one. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I know everybody has that special doctor that, I think we all have that special doctor. And, and I thank God for her. Her name is Dr. Werby. If you ever get to see this, Dr. Werby, thank you for all the times that you, I mean, you never judged me. I don't know what you might have said when I left, but at the same time, Dr. Werby, I just thank you for the love that you have for me. I mean, just how you never gave up on me and how you always will just give me, counsel and, just always kept me calm, like, because I know I was like a wild chicken coming in your office. But anyway, so I finally went to Dr. Werby. Wait a minute. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I finally went to Dr. Werby, and I was just so excited to let her know, Dr. Werby, I haven't been having sex. I'm good. Like, let's get this going, because mind you, she's always used to me coming in that office scared to death, right? Okay, she's always used to me coming in there scared, talking about, oh my God, do I got something? Da, da, da. So anyway, I came in and I'm just so confident because I'm like, yes, go ahead, Dr. Werby. And she's looking at me. She's like, wow, I'm proud of you. I'm talking about, she was just boosting my head up. And I'm like, yes, I've been going to church. I just been, living for the Lord. And it's been a year and so and so. But anyway, she gives me my pap smear. She, tests me for STDs, everything. So everything came out normal. Everything was fine. So of course I already knew that because I'm like, yeah, I'm good, So anyway, it's nothing like you leaving out of there. Like, I don't know about you, but honey, it's nothing like leaving out that clinic with that paper that says that you are negative of STDs. Okay, I don't know about you, but honey, it was a blessing. It's a blessing to me. I mean, and this day it was like I had to even take myself out to eat because that's how much it was a blessing. But anyway, no, seriously. And so after that, of course, I end up getting a phone call. And so when I get this phone call, I, again, I'm feeling confident because I'm like, okay, hey, how you doing? I get a confident from an old friend. I mean, a phone call from an old friend. And we get to talking on the phone and, and they're like checking up on me and how you been, little stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm good, telling them, but of course this person is not a believer. So it was kind of going in one ear and out the other. See, those are things that we don't pay attention to because at that moment we just be so desperate just to have a conversation that we don't realize and we don't acknowledge that we don't need to be entertaining nothing that ain't believing what you serve. But anyway, once again, I was feeling this. I had this confidence, like I'm good. I think whether be, whatever. It's just a simple conversation, old friend. They know me for a while, This is that friend that you always run into, like that special person that been knowing you, since a child, and they always come running to you, stuff like that, and you always want to, keep in contact with them or whatever the case is. And so I felt like it was nothing or whatever. So again, this person, I guess, they were doing well in their career. I don't want to say too much, but how can I say this? This person was athletic. That's all I'm getting to. And so this person was basically doing very well. And, they were kind of giving me sweet words on how, they feel like I should, be a part of their life and stuff like that. And how, I've always been special and how they always wanted to be with me and stuff like that. And so, again, the words, they were sounding sweet, you know what I'm saying? So once again, I'm this person that was always seeking for love. So any little thing, so to me, it was special because this person was really opening up to me. So of course I'm in my head, always in my head, and I'm like, Lord, is this my husband? Could this be? Because, I haven't been sleeping with nobody. I've been celibate. And then for him to reach out, I mean, this is serious, you guys. Like, this is how the devil works, these how the thoughts works, And I was like, God, if this is him, did you send him? Okay. So anyway, as this person, they were talking and talking and talking. And of course they were like, you know what? I want to see you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. If you want to see me, that's cool. It's nothing wrong with that. Once again, I'm feeling bold now. I'm bold. I'm feeling like I'm on water. Like I can't be touched, right? So he's like, yeah, I want to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine with me. It's nothing wrong with that. And so it got to what happened. So what ended up happening? I think I started getting the warnings then, or okay, no, probably afterwards. But okay, so no, before that situation happened, I remember having this dream. Before I end up running into him, mind you, I'm still celibate. God is really working with me, so I didn't mention, but God speaks to me through visions and dreams, more so dreams. And so while I was, celibate and basically seeking the Lord's face, he would show me things, right? So it was one particular dream that he had showed me prior to, like, before I ended up running into this person or whatever the case is. And it was this dream where I was sitting down and I was at a clinic. And while I was at this clinic, this nurse came to me and she told me that I was HIV positive. And I just remember screaming from the top of my lungs. I mean, I was going crazy. Like, it was just, the dream was heavy. It was so real. Like, I woke up with my heart beating all fast and, such and such. And so, I'm sorry, I'm getting a call, but I got to finish this video. And so, once I woke up and I was like, whoa, I rebuked the dream. I prayed. I said, God, keep me, Lord, protect me from any harm and danger, went into whole warfare prayer on that one. Okay. So anyway, coming back to me meeting the guy, catching up with the guy or whatever. And so as I'm with him. I finally decide that I want to go see him because, after, being in my head, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm okay. I think I can be around him. I don't think I'm going to fall into anything or whatever the case is. And so the day came where I was supposed to meet him. So when this day comes, I remember first of all, I came on my period. Let me make sure I'm in detail about things. Okay, so this whole month. Okay, so the first week of the month, right? That first week, I go and get my STD, my everything. I get checked, all of that. I'm good. I'm straight. Jennifer's clean. Okay. So I believe I end up coming on my period that week as well. So I already came on my period this month. Okay, let me get that straight. So I got tested and I came on my period, right? And so around this time when I'm going to go meet this guy, meet the guy, the friend at the time, I was, fine. I already came on my period, little stuff like that, but not that was standing out, but I just want you, it's going to stand out. It's going to make sense. So anyway, when this day comes that I'm supposed to go meet up with this individual, right? Mind you, I only have my daughter at this time. So my mom, for some reason, she came home late. So she was supposed to babysit my daughter while I go on this, meeting or whatever the case is. And so, honestly, my mom usually gets home like around 3. But this particular day, she got home at, I'm going to say like a good 9 o'clock. Okay. And let me tell you, I was heated, right? This is how, this is when you think you're good, you're not, right? So at this point, I'm getting dressed. I'm like calling her phone, like, Mom, where are you? Like, what's up with you? Why haven't you came yet? And she's like, no, I'm coming. I'm like, Mom, but that's weird. You never, like, I'm waiting for you to come. And she was like, Jennifer, what's your issue? I was like, Mom, because I want to hang out. So at this point, I'm really acting like a little girl. Like, it got to a point, like, I was acting like a spoiled brat. Like, Mom, I want to leave, because again, I haven't been around a man, so we're vibing, but not that I'm, thinking about having sex. I wasn't thinking about that. My mind is just like, I just feel like being around a man, just chill, whatever. I like him, he like me, whatever. And so at this point, I'm just like, waiting on her. She finally gets home. So when she finally gets home, I started cramping. So I'm like, what's up with that? Literally started cramping. So as I go in the bathroom, I'm like, whoa, why am I bleeding? Literally was bleeding. Like, yeah, came on my period twice type of thing. Never happened before. So I'm kind of like confused, like, well, what's up with, so anyway, I'm not even gonna say I was confused. I kind of was getting that feeling like God don't want me to go nowhere, right? I'm gonna say that. I'm not even gonna play stupid because that's my problem. We always want to play stupid, right? So anyway, I was like, dang, like, what's up with this? Like, okay, that's nothing because I'm not going there to do anything. And so, I called the guy. I'm like, man, my mom came late. I don't know if you still want me to come. Oh, no. He said, oh, yeah, I still want you to come. Don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, but, I don't know if the buses are still, it's kind of late. And he's like, no, 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 no. Just come on. I'll catch you a cab. And so I'm like, okay, straight. You know what I'm saying? That's fine with me. I'll catch a cab. And so, if I get emotional through the video, please, yeah, because it's just when you think about the goodness of the Lord. And I'm not even joking, like seriously, honestly, when you think about what God has done for you, like the things he has saved you from, like the times that you were I mean, just naive, like Lord, the Lord has saved me from a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love him. I love him so much for that because he didn't even have to do that. He didn't have to do that to no one. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, so, but he did it. Okay. So the guy's like, yeah, I'm about to catch you a cab. And so I'm like, okay, cool, So I'm on my period. Mom comes late. It gotta be like around 10 something at this point. So anyway, he calls me, he's like, Jennifer, the cab is outside. So I said, okay, cool. So when I go outside, mind you, I live in a building, apartment building. So when I go outside, there's no cab. So I'm looking around. So I'm like, well, where's the cab? I'm on the phone with him. I was like, did you give him this exact address? He said, yeah. He said he's up front. So I'm like, but he's not here. That's weird. So anyway, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to catch the bus. So when I go across the street, because I got to go across the street to get on the bus, I see that okay, so I'm sitting there. The bus comes, right? So when I get on the bus, I look to my left and the cab is in front of my building. So I'm on the phone like, dude, what? Where did the cab come from? Mind you, I never seen the cab come in the complex. Mind you, so across the street is the bus stop, right? So the bus stop basically faces my complex. So I can see my building is the first building when you come in. So as I'm looking, I'm like, I didn't see no cab. But when I get on the bus, mind you, it's just a second me paying and then sitting down. I look and the cab is literally in front of my apartment building. And so when I looked at the apartment building, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, where did the cab come from? So I'm calling him. I'm like, dude, well, where was the cab? I don't think he knew where he was at. He was like, no, the cab was there the whole time. He was calling my phone, asking me, where were you? So I'm like, are you serious? So anyway, I hurry up and I tell the bus driver, like, look, let me off, let me off. So I hop on the cab, right? And so at this point, I'm starting to feel like something is okay. Yeah, something is up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually feeling tension. It's this in my body, or how can I say? I think I was becoming anxious. It was that anxious feeling like that, which now I know what it meant. So again, it was this feeling of like, whoa, like, like, should I go? It's really late. Like, what are we, it's about to be damn near 2. I think it was about 12, I think by now. So anyway, I finally get there and, again, because of the fact that I've been celibate and seeking, God's face and stuff, I was kind of still able to see what was like on that person. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like, a lot of you might say the vibe or whatever. I was more so able to pick up on the person's spirit. Like, I can kind of see that this person had some, it was something that the face wasn't looking right? But again, desperate, right? Want attention. And so anyway, I'm sitting there and we're talking. I can tell, we wasn't really vibing as much as we were on the phone. It was kind of like I'm more so just like, yeah, okay, good, just excited for him, because he was more so talking about himself, for real. And not that he wasn't really into what my stuff. He was more so talking about how his career going, stuff like that, stuff like that. And so I remember when I sat down. No, I remember going to the room, because of course, he was just like, yeah, let's go to the room, let's chill. It is late. I'm actually really tired. I'm actually really drained, to be honest, from everything that just happened. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I'm putting everything to the back burner. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so when this happened, we were sitting on the bed. And I'm going to tell you something. He ain't wait. He did not wait. I mean, he literally just like, oh, your lips, and oh, you still got these beautiful lips, Jennifer, and da 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 da. I mean, he just immediately grabbed me, like my face, and and I'm be real with you, and it's just like in a second, forget celibacy, forget all of that. Like that's how quick it was. And I just got up. I remember I got up and I was like, no, wait. I think I'm on my period. Let me not, do something. I went in the bathroom and it seemed like I stopped. Like it just, even though I still had something on my pad, but when I wiped myself, it was like, sorry, TMI. I wiped myself and I was like, whoa, I'm off. Lord and behold. So I go back, and I'm like, okay, let's do this, like whatever the case is, that quick. And so I remember he got up and he was like, wait, I'm about to go get a condom. So I'm like, you sure? Because mind you, once again, in my head, I'm in la la land. This might be my husband, we might have a kid, whatever. Just, this is how Lord, thank you, Jesus, this is how damaged, like this is how my thoughts were, like this is how quick, because of the desperateness, because of wanting love so much, because of just, it just, I immediately forgot about everything, my communion with God, everything, just that quick. I'm already in my own world. I'm already picturing things between me and him. Maybe this is possible. Maybe we can go further. Maybe this is going to be, the real deal. All of this is going through my head, that it blotted out everything else concerning the Lord. And so he goes and grabs the condom. He's like, everybody go put this condom on. And I was like, no, don't put it on. Because I'm over here like, if he's athletic, and I was like, whoa, wait, did you get checked? And he was like, yeah, I got to, I have to, I always have to get checked. So I'm like, are you serious? He was like, yeah, I always got to get checked. So I was like, okay, which is true, but anyway, I'm like, not that it was true that he got checked, but it's true that, the way, whatever he does, he had to get checked. And so anyway, I end up getting, no, and I ended up letting them know, like, yeah, because, I'm good. I'm straight. You're straight. He was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm straight, whatever the case is. So we did the do, that ended up happening. And so next day, I ain't gonna lie, I felt horrible. I felt horrible the next day. Like, it was just like, I think I kind of snapped back into reality. It's like if you was to ask me, I probably was in a trance, like, but the next day it was just like, whoa, what did I do? And I went home. The conversation still kind of stayed the same, but then I kind of felt like he wasn't giving me too much at the same time. And so then it was like, I remember, oh wow. I remember the dreams started happening, and now my dreams are starting to like really come full force. Like, it's just like I just constantly kept having dreams about me having HIV. Like, now this just, mind you, like days prior to that. And so in the midst of that, I'm gonna say 3 days later, honestly, 3 days later, I started feeling this like a sensation, this weird sensation down there. It was weird, right? So I'm like, okay, should I tap into that, or should I not? You know, whatever. Should I take that serious? I'm like, it's probably like a little yeast infection. Again, TMI, forgive me. You know, this is a real channel. You know, this is me being real, talking to real women about real experiences and how God really has dealt with this wretched thing right here, delivered this wretched thing, and how if he did it for me, he's going to do it to you. So I want to be real. I don't want this to be no fake authentic. No, if you got the kids around, block their ears, we'll take them out, whatever, but this is real. And so anyway, I started, itching. So I'm like, whoa, what is this? After that, it was all over. It was like itchy town. I'm being straight up. It was itchy, 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 crashy, crashy, itchy, that. So I'm like, whoa, what is this? And so I called my doctor, and she's like, hey, again, I seen her like damn near 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, look, I'm getting this itchy feeling. I don't know what this is, but it just could be a yeast infection. So she was like, did you have sex? And I was like, I started crying because I'm like, dang, Dr. Werby, I let you down and I let God down. I let God down and I let you down. I was like, yes. I mean, it was so hard for me to come out my mouth because this lady, when I tell you, she was so happy to hear that I was finally celibate, finally like because again, I'm young, you know what I'm saying? Like, she sees these things all the time. And of course, not that I was, but I was special to her, even though she got other special, but I was special to her. So it just was like, oh my God, Jennifer, no, but it's not like she yelled at me, but she was just like, Jennifer, and so of course I'm like, well, no, but this person said they got tested, so they're good, you don't have to worry about anything. They were like, she was like, no, yeah, okay, I understand. I just want you to come in, just come in. So when I come in, she checks me, and she was like, just give it some time, I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna let you know what it is, so just sit right here. She comes back. I can see that her face is a little red. And I'm like, no. She's like, yes. And she's like, was it like unprotected? She was like, and I was just like, but this person said that they got tested. And she was like, Jennifer, you got to understand that there's a lot of men that doesn't care. There's a lot of people that doesn't take care of their health. And she's like, understand that this person is athletic, but you just can't trust that, because usually those are the ones who sleep around. So I'm like, but how would he do this to me? Like, I'm just in my head, I'm literally like gone at this point. And so I remember she was like, here's your paper, and I'm going to put your prescription in, and I'm going to give you a prescription so you can give it to him. So I'm just at this point, I'm out of it. I'm lost. I'm like, all this time, I'm sitting here. I wasted a year. In other words, to fall into the trap of the enemy. And so, yeah, she gave me this pill. I ended up giving him that pill. Actually, I called him, and he's like exaggerating, like he doesn't know. He's just being a drama queen. I don't know how this happened, and oh my God, and this and this and that, and please don't tell nobody. And I'm like, what? Like, dude, this ain't even got nothing to do with me telling anybody. Like, how dare you, But once again, I couldn't even blame him, So it was just like, it was just some weird crap. Like, he came and got the pill. Then after that, it was like he was kind of like not really calling me like that. Like, I don't know whether if he was embarrassed or if he didn't care, but then he was saying that, he got this from somebody giving him head, whatever the case is. And so whatever. So anyway, crazy part about it, I kept going. Asked me if I left him. I didn't. I kept going back. And the more I went back, the more the Lord was warning me. I'm talking about, I kept getting warnings after warnings after warnings. I will go to sleep, and it was just like I was getting nightmares every day. But at this point, it's a soul tie, because we didn't have sex, we didn't fornicated, and now it's a soul tie. Now it's hard for me to detach from this person. So I'm at this point where it's like I'm fighting. It's like the devil, it's like the good angel and the bad. It was just like, and so I'm really, it's just like, to be honest, it just felt like I was at the point where I was giving up. Like, I was like, you know what, whatever. It is, what is, whatever, you know. And literally, God kept warning me. And so I'm going to say a good 5 or 6 months went by. It was like the devil was really manifesting in him. It was more so like the devil was manifesting in him and laughing at me, and it wasn't even afraid to show it. I mean, it was just to the point like, yeah, I'm gonna get you this time. Because even the conversations, even the looks on his face, even his actions were like showing me like it was more to just that person. Like it was a spirit behind, it was a demon behind him. And so after 5 months, 6 months went past, I got to the point where I had to literally like, okay, God, we got to do something. You got to deliver me from this situation. You got to detach me from this situation. Like, something has to happen, because I don't want to leave out of here like this. And so I remember he had invited me this is the last time, I'm gonna say the last time I end up going over there. And in this last time, I remember I was sitting down, and I had a vision before I went over his house. A vision, daydream, something like that, if you don't understand. But anyway, a vision. And I was able to see me with a child, sick. I was sick. I see me being sick with a child. And abuse, like he was abusing me, right? So again, it was a stronghold. So I seen that, but I brushed it off. I left where I was at. I ended up going to his house, and finally going to his house. When I went there, it was just like everything was, how can I say this? It was just, we were vibing. And then I remember we went to go lay down. And so when we went to go lay down, we began, doing our thing in the act. And so in the act, I heard the Lord so loud. I mean, I heard him so loud, like it was an audible voice. Like, if anything, that was probably my first time hearing his voice in my ear, like a father who was upset with their daughter, with like a father, how can I say this? Like a father reaching out to his daughter. And he was like, and I heard what he said was, "Look at you." And in the midst of us having this sex, I was able to, it's like the Lord it's like, in other words, I just fell into a vision, and I seen everything that the Lord delivered me from. Every time he delivered me from every sexual encounter, every time I went to the hospital crying my butt off, telling him, making promises, I'm not going to have sex no more. Making promises, Lord, save me this time. I promise you I'm going to serve you. Making promises after promises. It was like I literally was able to see my whole life in the midst of this situation. And I remember I hopped up and I fell in the corner and I started screaming. I was crying because it was like the most scariest thing. Like, it was the scariest thing I ever experienced. Like, how can I say this? You know how we're always saying God is love and God is kind, but it's nothing like when your father is really upset with you. It's nothing like hearing that voice of, how dare you do this to me? Like, it just was like, I'm done with you. The voice was giving, I'm done, Jennifer. And I promise you, I screamed. I was just crying, like, Lord, forgive me. And when I looked at him, all he doing was just like rubbing his head, like, laying to the side. And he's like, "Are you done?" And when I looked, I can see, it was like a 3D. I can see the demons manifesting in his face. They were laughing at me as I'm on this corner, crying my butt off. And after that, I was just like, I have to go. So when I was like getting all my things together, it was like this person was starting to growl. It was like a growl, like the way they weren't even aware that they were growling. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like I knew my life was in danger. Like, that's it. I felt that that's it. I felt that God had cut the cord. He cut the umbilical cord, like he cut me off. It was it. This is what you want. You're having it. You can never say I never warned you. And literally after that day, I never came back. I never went back to see him. It was done. That's it. So, okay. I'm going to go into my next testimony. Well, when I bring up my next testimony, I'm going to tell you on how that ended, and how I end up, meeting my ex-husband at church. So I'm going to close this out. Yes, the Lord delivered me. He delivered me from that. He delivered me from AIDS. He delivered me from that because of his grace and mercy. And I'm sure that a lot of you right now are probably dealing with the same thing, have gone through the same thing. My advice to you is to call onto the Lord. Call onto him. Call with all your might, all the strings on your hair. Ask him, Lord, deliver me. Save me from this situation. Change my heart. Detach. I mean, if you got every word that can define detach me from it, remove it, cast it out of me. It has to let me go. You got to talk back to it, but you got to fight. You got to fight, and you got to hold on to the Lord, and trust me, he will deliver you. He got me out of it. He's going to deliver you too. He's going to get you out of it. He's going to get you out of it. He did it for me. And what I'm saying to you right now is trust the warnings. Because a lot of you have been getting dreams. A lot of you been getting dreams. It might not just be about no disease. It could just be about this person killing you or this person cheating on you. Trust what the Lord is showing you. Don't play dummy. And I'm going to tell you the truth. These are not the times. This right now, we're in our end times. The Lord is coming. So you got to trust him. You got to believe what he's showing you. You got to let this man or this woman go. They're not right for you. And it's nothing like the Lord's love for his child. He allows these things to happen sometimes because we just be playing with him too much. I got to get you to this point. But I'm here. I'm a living testimony. He got you. Call on to him. Call on to the Lord. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. Call on to him. God, I need you. Deliver me from this. I don't want to go out like this. I don't want to die by the sword. No. The Lord comes to give you life. Okay, so I'm going to close this out, and I'll see you in my next video. My next video will be me meeting my husband, and in other words, on how God delivered me, closing in, and then going into how I met my husband at church. So may the Lord bless you, and I pray that this video may be a blessing unto you. God bless you.